Now, there have been calls for more allotments to be made available across the country, with people facing a waiting list of, wait for this, 7 years to get one.
And here to tell us more about this, as well as sharing her hacks for giving your seedings a new home, it's Forager Phoebe Foran. You're very welcome.
How are you?
Thank you very much. There's been a lot of talk about allotments. Why are they so lucky?
Listen, I have been banging on about allotments for years now because allotmenting to me absolutely changed my life. It's so important for your mental health. And right now, I think especially after the blockades last week, when we're a country that imports about 90% of our food. When things weren't coming into the country, people start going,
I can't believe
I want to be able to grow my own.
We import potatoes.
Yeah.
In Ireland, we import potatoes.
Yeah. It's incredible. And potatoes are one of the easiest things that you can grow. You chuck them into the ground, they know what to do. And one potato that you put into the ground will give you about 10 back.
No.
Which is incredible. You plant 10 potatoes.
So why are we not doing this then? What's happened to us as an Irish people here?
Honest to God, it's convenience. That's all it is. But it's so easy. We've got a great climate for growing, and now is the time to start putting seeds in the soil.
OK.
When I heard this, like 7, and in some cases 10-year waiting
10 years.
lists.
Yeah, up to 10 years.
How long were you waiting for an allotment?
Well, I was very, very lucky. I batted my eyelashes frantically.
Who did you know?
But I was very lucky. But I allotment all the time. I talk on my social media about allotmenting, and the amount of people who will contact me saying, can I get an allotment? And I'm like, I can tell you where there's allotments, but I can't tell you how to get one, because the waiting lists, in most cases, are a school, like an entire term of a child going to school to finishing.
Why is there such a shortage?
So we, as a country, have one of the least amounts of allotment growing spaces or community growing spaces in Europe. We're actually one of the lowest. There's about 2,300 allotment sites in the whole of Ireland. That's not like places, that's actual plots. That's for the whole of Ireland. And a lot of them are run by councils, so the plots get passed down through generations. So there isn't... So if your granddad had one, it might go to the grandson or the granddaughter, and sometimes they might not use it, and it sits there idle.
But if you've got a garden...
Yes.
Yeah, that could be your allotment.
You can absolutely turn any green space that you have into a growing space.
But we're in a position, especially in the last 15 to 20 years, where most houses don't have a front garden anymore.
No.
You know, so they're building houses, and it's because they can build another row of houses if they save on front gardens.
Absolutely.
So are we doing ourselves a disservice there and just adding to the problem?
Hugely so. But if you even think about it, you can grow most of these things that I grow, you can actually grow in pots. So even if you do have limited space, be it a balcony or whatever, you can still grow a huge amount of your vegetables in very, very limited spaces.
OK.
In containers, in tubs, in pots, yogurt tubs, anything that you have, you can grow it all literally on a balcony.
So you've a programme called Grow a Lot.
I have a programme called Grow a Lot.
Tell us about this.
Yes, so we launched this 3 years ago, and we're actually about to launch the 3rd year of it tomorrow. I'm so excited. So Grow a Lot is a programme where we give 10 people, or 10 could be families or whatever, 10 people the opportunity to flirt with allotmenting. We give them 10 allotment beds. So they're 1 metre by 3. They're only a small allotment bed, but it gives them the opportunity to start growing themselves. And in the past 3 years, the shift in the people who've come through the journey in their mental health has been absolutely amazing.
So this is like teach a man to fish, basically.
Yes, and we will never start.
And we've been very, very lucky. This year we're sponsored by Tirlong Country Life, and they've given us all of our growers for this year, like kits to get them growing, the seeds, the tools. So it's ideal for people who've never grown before.
OK, you mentioned, OK, we're thinking of, OK, if you're growing vegetables, you're saving money. But there's a connection to your mental health when it comes to gardening.
So there's studies now coming out of Japan at the moment that are showing that growing and being a gardener is not just a hobby. It actually has a tangible effect on your mental health, because it hits all the pillars from sense of purpose, being out in the daylight, seeing green, mindfulness, breathing in fresh air, physical exertion, all of the main pillars that people talk about when they talk about improving your mental health. Gardening hits them all. So there should be more incentives for people to actually be able to get access to this. And like in terms of allotmenting, it's one of the easiest things you can do.
OK. Now, you can use your phone as you're planting and growing. You can get the gram.
That could be the content.
Set it
up on the tripod, plant a few spuds. What else are we planting on these allotments?
OK.
So for me, I grow everything from spuds to my peas, my beans. I tend to grow the things that I like to eat. Spinach, kale, all the stuff that I like to eat that I would tend to go. Broccoli, tender stems. Things that I would go to the shop to buy, that's what I grow. And that would be my best tip to anybody. If you are looking to grow stuff, start with the things that you like to eat.
And most importantly, you're growing your happiness.
You see? OK.
Are we I've purposely dressed.
This is why you got the award.
I've purposely dressed in all my cleanest white and beige clothes today. So what are we doing?
So
we're doing snails.
I'm going to show you how to make it. This is a really handy hack called making seed snails. So I'm going to do these with some peas. These are little peas that I planted from seeds about a couple of weeks ago. Did you know that a seed for a pea is a pea?
The seed for a pea is a pea.
Right?
It's like that Spider-Man meme.
Seed for a pea is a pea. You'd be surprised how many people don't realise that. So
we could have had these with our fish.
You could, I'm telling you.
Should have done it an hour earlier.
When you plant your peas into your soil, they're going to grow like this, grow tall. They have these lovely tendrils. They're trying to catch on to each other there. But these guys need to have more space. So you grow them in a small space first, and then you're going to move them into a bigger space because, like I always put it, the example, you don't put a baby into a double bed, you put the baby in the cot. You keep it small.
Tell that to my baby at home.
And then you move it into a bigger bed, then it'll go into its bed. So when these guys are growing like this, these are now starting to need more space. For years, I always then would move them into another pot, right? But I would have then had lots of little pots all over the place.
Yeah.
So this little hack is really, really handy because it means that I can grow all of these like this and move them to something
Makes
like
sense.
this.
Okay. Makes sense.
So seed snails make life very, very easy, and it's a really sustainable way. You can use the end of your compost to strip off the end of your compost bags.
Yeah.
So I've cut a little strip of it out there, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay some compost on top of this, right?
All right.
We're going to put a good whack of the compost on it.
You want to get the smell off
And I'm going to get you ready. You're going to give this a good watering down now. You can have the clean job.
Okay.
Since you're dressed in your royalty.
So do it from distance.
So if you want to give them a good spray, because you want to get it nice and tacky.
Now, load it up.
Yeah. Right. Get it nice and tacky there.
Okay, so we should have asked, how do we... okay. I've never gardened before.
Pull that back and spray.
Okay, here we go.
Right, good spray.
How's that now?
Oh, listen,
Look
it's
at that.
like you've done this before.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, no,
I can see this is wonderful.
He's giving it a little back and forth.
Yeah,
now,
see that?
That's a dance move there.
There we go.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some of these seedlings out of this pot. So you kind of grab them with maybe about an inch on either side, and you can see, look how the root of that.
Yeah.
This needs so much more space. It's been dragging itself all over that tub
feels
there.
confined.
Yeah, needs room to grow.
So it needs room to grow. So what we're going to do then is we're going to just lay it at the top like that.
Okay, so you're kind of laying it flat?
Yeah, laying it flat, and we're going to give it a nice bit of space for that root to grow. And we're going to do this all along. Right, we're going to add them. Do you want to throw one in there, Martin?
Oh, sure.
Get your hands dirty, Martin. Go on.
Give them a little lay out there.
I'm just worried that I make sure I get the root.
Look at that.
Yeah,
That
look
for
at
a pull.
Right?
I'm telling you.
So we're going to...
So there needs to be a little bit of space between them.
Yeah, give them a little bit of space between them. And you better be on standby there.
I am, yeah, I'm ready. Do you need me to spray anything?
Right, we're going to need you now in 2 minutes.
Oh.
This is like...
Will you behave yourself?
The skills that you have here are insane, right?
Okay, unbelievable.
So, right, once we have them on it, I want you to give them a good little spray again.
There we go now, get them nice and wet.
Right, and we're going to give them a good little sprinkling again of some more compost. You don't need gloves.
No?
This is good.
They
actually say that the studies now show that having soil on your hands absolutely affects your dopamine levels.
Really?
And your microbiome. So it makes
happier?
you healthier
Do you know
and improves your immune
I
system.
feel as if I'm beaming.
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 So from here on in, now that they've had a nice water and another little layer of muck, what we're going to do is we're going to roll them like a Swiss roll. So this has effectively become the cookery section of the day again.
Did you have to mention that? You want to see some of the text we're getting in?
Right, we're going to roll him up.
Yeah.
And then, with a bit of string, we're just going to tie it.
Lovely. Simple as that.
Simple as that. So you can see there how if I had to plant all these, we'd have lots of little pots. I now have that in one little space. And then what you can do is, if you have an L pot, stand them up.
In it goes.
And then you have them. And you can add as many or as little as you want into it. And then you have muck all over the place. Great fun.
That's all right.
Better for the mental health and all that jazz.
But we feel better.
Yeah, I feel
We're in
better.
touch with the land, nature,
It
purpose.
does a lot for your mental
That's the
health.
saying, go out and
I'm
touch
telling
grass.
And she ain't joking.
That's where it comes from.
Good to see you.
George Beebe, thank you very much for
you.
doing
Thank you so much.
All right, still to come on the final hour of Ireland AM, award-winning director Neil Jordan reflects on his film that bagged 6 Oscar nominations.
Plus, she's graced the silver screen as Glinda Good in The Wicked. And now Ariana Grande is starring alongside Robert De Niro. We'll be covering the biggest showbiz stories back shortly after Martin washes his hands.
Yeah.